If you landed on this video during the bull run of 2021 or 2022, during that time frame, doesn't matter if you're viewing this in April 2022, this video is extremely important to you. Nothing here is urgent outside of the idea that you need this information to prepare you to go to the bank laughing with all the money that you have made in crypto. And without the basic knowledge, the basic strategy and idea that I'm going to cover here in this video, without it, the chances of you fumbling the ball and messing up and going home after watching your gains go down the drain is going to be increased. This is a very important video, and I only have, as of now, 3 videos in my playlist, most important videos that I've ever made. So this isn't a saturated thing where I try to get views by telling people, hey, the most important, urgent, you know, this and that. No, it is a select few. I'm going for quality over quantity. This video right here could help you change your life with crypto and build wealth, starting out with not that much. All right. So what we're going to cover in this video, let's get rid of that music. What we're going to cover in this video is the idea that you need a game plan, but more importantly, the idea that you need 3 game plans. Because as an altcoin holder, let's say you bought some small cap or you hold Veracity or Trias or whatever, and you plan, it's going to hit $500 at the end of the year. Okay, that's your main game plan, and you might have a reason for that. But you need 3. And not only do you need 3, you need to specifically know when to jump from your first most probable in terms of what you're doing with clicking around or how you're planning things. You need to know when to jump from your first most probable to your second most probable and then your third most probable, even if your first most probable happens, okay? You still need to watch this because it's so important to understand. Let's say you have your plan and the first most probable will play out, but you don't know that yet. Once it actually gets there, this is a war. This is a battle. You are stepping into a boxing ring. And if you're just watching YouTube like traders and price analysis and all that stuff, that is equivalent to literally jumping into a boxing ring and fighting a trained boxer with the idea that I'm going to do well because I watched YouTube videos. No, you're not. And so in terms of practicing by doing and actually hitting that bag, this video alone, it will not do that for you. However, I hope to be compelling in this video that you need 3 game plans, specifically know how to identify when to jump through those. And by the end of the video, you should potentially watch the other ones in that playlist. There are only 3 as of now. By April in 2022, there might be 4 or 5. I don't know. But you also need to know that it's like a boxing ring. And if you want to practice punching the bag, that's what my community's for. Links in the description section. I'm not going to show my community much in this video, so let's dive into it. So this is the story about how I went from my first most probable to second most probable and third most probable. Bitcoin punched me in the face in that boxing ring, and I won the fight, and I'm cashing in on it on a short-term time frame, right? And I'm going to step you through my journey through 2 weekly candles, one that I really thought was going to close green because it was statistically very probable, and I'm recording this in late October as Bitcoin closed its 60K weekly candle for the first time ever. Even though it had previously gone to 64K, it never closed a weekly candle at 60K or above, right? So therefore the next candle should have been really bullish, but I kept the third most probable as it could go red. And I gave the reasons why, mostly algos. And I'll show you here. I'm going to step it. I have some tabs up here ready, and you're going to see day by day as things played out, right? I'm not just going to look at the charts in hindsight. No, I'm showing you how I reacted at like down to the hour. And so you need to, even though your altcoin will behave slightly differently, you need to see this. So this is like watching a YouTube video on training and boxing before you step into the ring to practice, not to fight. But I can't stress enough. If you think you can just watch YouTube videos and do well in crypto, you need to practice. You need to practice by doing, and you need a game plan. So let's jump into it. All right, here we go. Let's start off with a quick quote here, and I want to ask you, in baseball. So if you're not a baseball fan, I'm sorry for this analogy, but it's good. You know, hopefully everybody understands baseball to a very basic degree. What is the best pitch that a pitcher can possibly throw? There is one single best answer, and baseball fans are saying, no, there's not. There's all sorts of ways to throw, you know, like a slider's. No, there is actually one best answer. And when I give you the answer, if you're doubting me, you'll be like, oh crap, he's right. So think about it. What is the one best pitch that a pitcher can throw? The one best pitch that a pitcher can throw is a strike. So I changed my background here. How does it relate to this? So this, even though you might have feelings politically about George Soros and stuff, that's not the point. It's a good quote, and it relates to this baseball analogy. It's not whether you're right or wrong. That's important. But how much money you make when you're right and how much you lose when you're wrong. So similar to that baseball analogy, how you throw a strike doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you get there. It matters that you throw strikes. It matters that you make money, right? All right. So that's one idea. And if you don't have this main idea that I'm going to make in this video, you're probably going to be one of those people who doesn't throw a strike. You might have a hell of a slider, but it's not going to be a strike, right? All right, so let's go back to this other background here. And let's start off with, so you can see here in this video that I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to move my face. So this is me over here where my cursor is. I was making this video for my Patreon community. So down here it says daily update. So this is just for my patrons. While the week was still green, and the candle where my cursor is right now is the highest closing Bitcoin candle ever in late October. Even though it didn't, even though at that time new all-time highs past 64.8 or 64.5 had not been made, it was the all-time high for a weekly candle closure. So what I'm going to go over here is I would already let folks know that the chance of this candle closing red is very low, but I'm voicing it could happen, and here's what is the idea behind it. Let me make sure it's not on too fast. There we go. Here, or even scary, like flick it on a wick. So I think there is a chance that this candle could real quick, like in an hour wick down, flicker red, scare a lot of people, and then in terms of the second day, that would be the wick of day 2, but it only happens for like 15 minutes to an hour. All right, so I had the anticipation that it could go red and that it'd be fast. And later in the video, I said the reason this happens in price action is not it's not big bad people trying to take people's money necessarily. It's just bots trying to trick other bots, and it's a free market. They the big bad people are free to do that, totally legal. So stop seeing price action as but you need to anticipate what they might do, and so you can make money off of it. And so Bitcoin price punched me in the face, ended up flipping to my third most probable. First most probable was a green week. Second most probable was it flicks red, closes green. Third most probable was it closes red, and that's the reason why. So back here on October 21st, today as a recording is October 25th, the week had already closed red. You can see in the video the week was still green. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you is the exact moment when I'm dialing in on the small time frames. I can tell, crap, I need to change my game plan to the second most probable, and how I saw it. And this is also off of YouTube. This is for my community. All right. So here we go. So I let them know, actually this happened. I posted this about 30 minutes before it actually dropped. I let folks know, okay, look, Bitcoin and ETH daily candles are going to flip red. This was a Friday. So on Thursday's daily candle, it was the first red candle after a lot of bullish movement. Friday at this point had bounced off the 10 EMA. It was green. And I said, guys, don't be long and stuff right now. This is going to flip red, and here's why. All right. So if you want to look at the charts, go to the daily chart. It was this day right here. See how big this wick was? See this? So price had started here on this is Friday, started green. And I let them know right here, it's going to flick red. And I dialed in on the lower time frames, and it was the low, even though I don't suggest you always start lower time frames, but this is how I knew I had to change my game plan. Okay. So I knew that, hey, this is getting ready to drop. All right. And I said down here, BTC looks like it wants to hit this ascending line as it crosses the blue horizontal. Okay. So see this blue horizontal, so see this blue box that goes all the way across? I said it needs to hit it right around that point. And in the end, I was only about 4 hours off. It hit that 4 hours later, days later, right? This is Friday. It hit it on Sunday, and I was only 4 hours off. All right, so step through this, number one. Number two, Stokes looked topped out as price stayed trapped under the ribbon line on the 1 hour chart, which is why I knew. So this is for my upper two tiers only, but On my ribbons, if you fall into the ribbons, the Stokes give a good push on the 1 hour and you can't get out of it, you're going to come down. Maybe not a crash, but you're going to fall out of whatever trend you're in for on a small term time frame. All right. So number 3, price could not get back above the ribbons. Okay, I just talked about that. And then ETH is in a similar situation. So I knew from a statistical likelihood, because Bitcoin and ETH are doing about the same thing. Actually, you couldn't see all that. Here you go. I have it written behind me. So since Bitcoin and ETH were doing the same thing on this short-term time frame, they were both ready to leave their trading channel that they were in, that the likelihood of me having to flip to my number 2 plan, that the week will flip red because that day is going to flip red, it increased. Are you following me here? Am I making sense? Hopefully I am. All right, so the next one. This is after the drop. So now you can see behind me, I was making a video. This is a public YouTube video. So this was made on Friday, October 2nd, as the title says. And I let publicly everybody know, even though I let my patrons know before, okay, now that it's fallen, where is it going to go? Right. And I actually circled the same place as I anticipated. So you can see my mindset. Okay, now I'm thinking my game plan number 2. Game plan number 2, the week's going to close red, but although right now, it's going to close green, although right now it's red. And so there's going to be a great moment to get long. All right. So watch. And even if you're a hodler and you're not a trader, it doesn't matter. This is the idea of having a game plan and knowing when to flip. You don't need to be a day trader to appreciate this and to change your life with this. This is for the altcoin hodlers who don't sell very much. I'm telling you, it's the overall concept of having 3 game plans and knowing when to switch. So even though this is more lower time frame stuff, the bigger time frames move exactly like the smaller time frames. If you take fractals and you copy candles and you stretch it from an hour to the week, it moves the same way. I'm telling you. All right, so watch. Bitcoin was leaving the bottom of the aggressive line, which means historically, when it leaves this line for the first time after an aggressive trading channel, it hits the bottom line. It doesn't go straight down always. Sometimes it'll hit a horizontal, which, what do we have here? 60K horizontal, and then it goes sideways. But it doesn't just go sideways, straight sideways. It goes back above the 4-hour 10 EMA and comes back down to the same level, hits that line finally, gets close to the gray line on the COSA long ribbons. All right, so look at where I circled this. I circled it right at the blue line crossing this. So the blue box, the upper one, see where my cursor is? And this line ascending, I circled it right there. I was only 4 hours off in my game plan now that I'm totally engrossed in the idea number 2, the second most probable. Idea number 1's out. It's not just going to keep flying up that week. I knew that week was going to be, either a green candle small or I had to flip to my 3rd game plan. So watch. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame so you can see what actually happened. Oop. So I circled it here. Okay. All right. So I was more than 4 hours off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the exact bottom, I was only 9 hours off from that guess. I just thought it was going to hit it here, then bounce. So the 9 hours fit in my idea number 2, because if it hit it too much later, that means the week closes red. So that's why I circled it here, because it needed time to get back above this line. See this line that I'm highlighting? That is the line where if price is under, the week is red. If price is above, the week flips green. So I thought the week would flip green. I was still in process number 2, right? Main idea number 2. So therefore I circled that to give it enough time to get above. And this would have been the scare to get people going the wrong direction before flipping it bullish, which is what I said in that first video, right? Okay, so let's go to, so we just went over that one. Now let's look later. So this is Sunday. So the last hours, and I think I had just woken up, so I had my glasses on and stuff, but I woke up thinking, oh no, it hadn't hit that line yet. It's going to hit it. This is a great opportunity. The moment's come. And now on this day, I was on mentality number 3, the 3rd most probable, because that was not hit on the timing. I thought, I knew, shit, it doesn't have time to get back up. The week's going to close red. But regardless, the 3rd most probable, I'm going to cash in because the same idea is going to happen. Prices, because of that weekly candle closure at 60K, shit's going to be bullish, period. It's just a matter of how you get there. Remember the strike? It doesn't matter how you throw a strike. It matters that you throw a strike. It matters that you make the money. So how you get there doesn't matter. It only matters that you do it and that you hit it, you throw that strike and you make money, right? So in this video, this short clip here, you'll see me knowing, man, well, it's my 3rd most probable playing out, a little bummed, but watch me cash in. Watch this. Watch what I say. Place, but I'm getting back into my longs that I got whipped out from last night, and I might go fairly big or fairly aggressively because I feel that there is a strong trading edge and prices way more suppressed now. Okay, so I let my patrons know this is the time to start getting long. Here I was only like 2 hours off, right? And so going down to this chart, so you can see in that video, I made it on, so the only candle, I made it on this candle there, thinking that was, right here at this level is the ultimate time to start getting into long positions, buying your altcoins, without leverage, whatever. And it doesn't matter if you're not a day trader, you hear me talk leverage, I don't day trade, doesn't matter. This is me going to plan number 3, because what I expected to play out didn't, but I was prepared for 3 things and I'm cashing in on it. I'm throwing a strike. Right? I wanted to throw a curveball. My catcher said, nope. You're throwing a high fastball. You're going to hit the high outside corner. And now I have to throw a freaking fastball where I didn't want to. Right? But I do it and I throw the strike. And you can see here. So I made that I made that video on the candle where I'm hovering right now. Okay? And so from that bottom, Bitcoin only dipped down 0.5%. So the timing was almost impeccable. However, the next one that I'm going to show you here, it boils it down even tighter. So I help my community know exactly when to get into longs. Now watch. Like it all boils down. So the big time frames, the weekly, which is another lesson in and of itself. You have to look across time frames. Start with the weekly, boil it down to the small time frames so you can see the whole picture. Now watch. This was only released to my patrons. This is the 15-minute time frame, right? So this orange line is the 200 EMA. The red is the 10 EMA, exponential moving average. And new viewers, if you don't know what that means, just go to my library playlist and look at the video that says how the F does he set up his chart. I teach you how to set up a chart just like mine. And if you are buying altcoins and you think you're going to hit it rich and you don't know how to set up a trading view chart, you are fooling yourself. You're going to get freaking knocked out on the first punch. The match will last like 10 seconds. Ding! Your butt's going to be on the floor. I'm telling you, you need to watch it. So if you're watching this 2022 or whenever the hell you're watching it, right, and it's still a bull market and you're coming in and you don't know how to use a chart, you need to go to that go to my YouTube channel, look at the library playlist, go to the playlist, look at the one that says library, look for the one that has it's the more flashy. Most of them are basic purple. It says library, but this is the one that says how the F does he set up a chart. You got to watch it. Anyway, so the 15-minute chart, 200 EMA, exponential moving average with the 10. So the 10 is like ride's price, right? You can see that red line. And I said, because I put a logger timeframes. We got some beer timeframes. The lower timeframes and trend line say bounce. So because the lower timeframes and the trend line says bounce, I can confidently say that the 15-minute 10 EMA will now squeeze price above the 15-minute 200 EMA. So here, right here, where my mouse is, price went up to the 200 EMA twice, got rejected. Came up here, came short. Came up here, came short. How did I know that this one was going to be the one? And so just look at this, and we're going to go to the real chart. I was right. Like, it's exactly correct. And this is when we knew, bam, even if you didn't catch it down here, you are still safe when Bitcoin went up maybe 1% to still get it. Like, this is impeccable timing right here. When I watch. See that? The first time it got rejected, this is the real chart now. Came up short, and I made that video. I made that thing right there. See that? So go back, watch. See that? That's where I made it. I said, now it's going to squeeze out. But I couldn't have been confident in that had I not had a weekly game plan knowing what the top 3 are in terms of what the hell the weekly candles are going to do and why. What are my justifications? How do I know I have an edge? Right? Okay, so look, I mean, squeezed right out. Okay, now, to make this to say this in another way, I thought on the weekly scale that it was going to be suppressed on purpose, potentially as the second and third most probable, in order to get people to be confident in shorting. Like, oh, it just hit an all-time high, now it's going to tank. Those people, it's going to bait them to go shorter by going down and making the week close red. So remember, even though I'm on a small time frame, the week is red when price is under this line. This is the first hour of the next week. So all this is the week being red, besides for a couple minutes it flickered green for these wicks right here. Remember? Okay, so this line means the week is red. Okay, so getting people to go short, and look, watch this. The last hour of the week. This is the last one. I'm on the hourly time frame. This candle here, look, the big bad they people, right? So stop thinking they. Learn how to make money off they, because you know what they are going to do and why they're going to do it. Why they. Piggyback off those fuckers, right? Think like a whale. And I just didn't think that whales were going to overcome the retail, but I guess retail's not here, clearly. So it's just people still in crypto making this, but I still kept this number 3. Whale games or algo games, whatever you want to call it, the they games, right? And I'm banking in on it because I went aggressive on my longs at the exact right, like hourly candle almost. It's two off. But when Bitcoin took a dip for 0.5%, just barely, altcoins were already going up. I was already in profit when I did that. All right. So anyway, so look, the first candle of the week, look, it went above this line. Kablam, taking off. Bait people to go short, close it red, and suckers. That's it. That's it. And I said in that video, I am going long. And that was right here. Right here. And now I'm in profit on 100% of all my positions. And again, as a hodler, you might not care about, oh, I don't day trade, I don't do futures, which honestly, that's probably a good idea. That's a good way to lose your money unless you're part of a community like mine. And I'm not saying join my community. There are a lot of really good, actually, a lot of the people out there aren't that great, but there are a few really good traders out there who trade with a lot of money. They do a great job. If you wanted to join futures, don't just try that yourself. You will get screwed. So if you are new to crypto, don't be trying to use futures, which means leverage, 5x leverage, 10x leverage. So if you're new to crypto, stay in spot trading, which means I'm just buying Veracity or just buying Bitcoin or just buying Ethereum. If Ethereum goes up $1, my money goes up $1. That's spot, right? Okay. So, and so I'm not trying to get you, honestly, if you're new, you need to stay away from that. You have to practice. It's like a boxing ring. So, okay, so this is what leverage is, right? So remember the boxing analogy, and you don't practice, you're stepping in the ring with somebody who has, right? I watch YouTube videos in box, right? That's you, stepping in. Well, let's do it. Leverage is you up against 5 people. If you're using 5x leverage, I watch YouTube videos. Wait, why are there 5 people here? Because your dumbass is using 5x leverage. You're going to get your ass kicked, right? So seriously, if you don't, you would want to start out with 2% of your money in futures to practice. And you have to view it as practice, not to, I want to get rich fast. That's how you're going to lose all your money. Even if you get lucky the first 2 times, you're going to lose it even faster that way. All right. So anyway, so you can see how my main idea from the beginning of the week, 6 days before that, this happened, because I went back to Monday, right? That Monday video when it was green, this one, right? I boiled it down to the hours and the 15 minutes, knowing that after this, I didn't know it was going to be the first hour of Sunday. I actually thought there might be one more scare down, then run it the other way. All right. Which is why I said stops, because I actually thought it would do it one more time, but nope, it did it exactly. They just wanted to close the week red and ran it the other way. And the main point of this, all right, so where's this? Hey! Yeah, hey! The main point of this is that I had a game plan. I had 3. I was nimble and went from 1 to number 2 to number 3, and now I'm cashing my ass in. And so if you, as an altcoin holder, right, if you think I'm going to change my life with crypto, and you're buying small caps or whatever, okay, that is honestly the best. Buying shit, coins, 1 through 20 on CoinMarketCap, that's not going to change your life. First off, there's not as much ROI. It's not mathematically possible. If you buy Cardano, $1,000 of it right now when it's $2, and how much is Cardano? $2.16. If you think you can come in, even if it's a little lower, if you think you can make millionaire, okay, those YouTube videos about Cardano will make millionaires, fuck no, it's not. If you buy $1,000 of Cardano by the end of this bull run, you can buy a used car. Maybe. This is not going to change. The $1,000 is not going to change your life. Small caps, they will. Anyway, so if you're here because you're a small cap person you're buying coins not on page 1 or 2 page 2 is actually pretty good, but not on page 1 coin market cap, and you think you're going to change your life, okay, that's a good start. But now you need to go watch my other 2 videos in my most important playlist. Check that out. And if you like what you saw, go ahead and also check out my community. And if you don't know things like EMA and all that stuff, don't just jump in and be VIP or something. You won't get the value out of it. So you would want to join the lower tier, go through my basic library stuff. And the way my community is this, I don't offer courses, right? A lot of the base information in there, it's not like 50 hours of content. I give you the basic stuff, but what my community does for you, it's on a daily basis. Practice by doing. In practice by doing, you have to have the base knowledge first. So most of my content is in the moment now. It's not watching past stuff in 30 hours. No, it's now. This is how you do it. Put stops here. Market buy with 30% of what you want to buy now. Put 70% of the money you want to buy in BPRO or whatever altcoin you want. Like, I give you exact game plan so you can do. And it's on a daily basis. That's how I do it. So my community is different than anybody else's. I'm not going to load you up on courses. I don't have thousands of hours of content. It's actually, I do by now, but it's on a daily basis so you can learn by doing. So you're punching that bag. That's what we do. So if you want to get this crypto, I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know if you found this useful, and we'll see you next time.